Hi everybody, welcome to White Noise Live. I'm Kyle Sullivan, and I'm here with Ricky Lynn and Ethan Gelinas.
Hi.
Say hi, guys.
Hey.
This is episode 13, I think, of White Noise Live, and if you are joining us actually live, thanks for doing so. If you're watching on the podcast afterward or listening on the podcast, also thanks. I'm hopefully, maybe there's even somebody listening to this, several years into the future now, and they're like, this is like back before they got popular and stuff.
Wishful thinking, Kyle. Wishful thinking.
You don't know. Maybe they found it after we got more popular and were like, oh yeah, those old podcasts, I hate those things. Like we talk about our older podcasts now.
I like our older podcasts.
Yeah, I still go back and listen to them on occasion. Let's see, a few quick things. You might notice that behind us, there are lots of quotes from our podcast. We're collecting quotes. If you hear us say something stupid during the stream or while listening on YouTube, leave us a comment or something in the chat quoting us, and I'll find a way to work it into the wall somewhere. Also, we are still looking for Reddit moderators, so if you're interested in that, you can send me an email to kylesullivan@whitelightninghq.com. And we can get in contact about that. I think that covers all my announcements and stuff. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
I'm okay.
Wolf Under
Surface says he can see and hear all three of us, which is a massive
We
improvement
did it.
over the last several podcasts.
Mission accomplished.
So as an update to mission to make the audio work okay, my current solution is they keep getting less and less elegant, yet slightly more effective. I'm currently using two microphones at once. The podcast is hearing me from my Blue Snowball microphone, or the stream is hearing me from my Blue Snowball microphone, and I'm recording for the podcast on the one you see in shot right now. That's the only way I can figure out how to do it to where there's no echo, and I don't sound like a robot. So
You sound like a robot to me.
if it works, then it works. And we're all recording our audio again. Last time we managed to do that, and it sounded good, so yeah, we're good to go. We're going to start off with community comments. Community comments has kind of taken over the podcast since the last couple, because we just stack up like 2 videos worth of comments and just kind of go through them, which I'm okay with, because we've gotten a weird number, a strangely large number of requests to return to community comments since ending it.
Huh.
So having it exist
I
in
guess
some form
people
would
like
probably be nice.
comments.
I think it's really funny. I liked it when it was just us exhausted after doing ridiculous things in a prison.
It was nice. It was definitely an interesting thing, and I don't know, I go back and forth on it. What I'm thinking about doing is we've also started dabbling in behind the scenes videos. We didn't do one for last week because it was me and Jeffrey shot it really fast, but 3 weeks before that we did a behind the scenes, and I was thinking that it would be like a good idea might be to combine behind the scenes and community comments into one video and start doing those.
Behind the comments.
Maybe, and then
Behind
maybe
the
do
comment.
podcasts, just chat instead of doing community comments there. So, we'll see. Might be something to try out. For now, we have comments from Mark of the Ninja and Magic Mugging. So we'll do those real quick. Either of you want to read the first one?
Where are these comments?
They're on the thing I sent you. Ricky,
Oh.
read the first one.
All right, it's Mark of the Ninja comment for L for Light.
Hi, Overwatch.
Makes you wonder how is the in-game
Yes.
ninja aware of his 2D surroundings, even beyond his line of sight.
It's actually a really cool thing that they did. Have either of you played Mark of the Ninja?
I have not, and I
No.
actually also didn't watch the video.
Did I watch the video? I'd not
Well,
play the
thanks. Just an update, the chat has demanded and found whales again. But yeah, Mark of the Ninja, it's actually, it's an excellent example of how, in my opinion, 2D stealth works better than 3D stealth. Because in 3D stealth, you can't actually
There's
see
so
everything.
many areas where something can exist from and
Yeah.
spawn you.
Like, you can sneak through a whole thing and it takes you forever, and then you get spotted because you didn't know that guy was behind that wall there because you couldn't see it. Mark of the Ninja, you can see everything all on your screen, but they modify it based on what makes sense for the layout of the room. So basically what happens is you can see, not only can you see people and their line of sight, and you can immediately see whether or not someone is hidden or in the light based on the art style that changes. You turn into like a silhouette if you're hidden. But you can also see the sound, it like produces sound waves whenever somebody steps or whenever you land on something or hit something.
So you're just a bat.
Basically, yeah. And like if you're in a room and there's a door closed off, you can't necessarily see a clear image of the soldiers moving around, but you can see like the little tapping noises appear as they're walking down. And then if you go lean up against the door, you get this weird kind of fuzzy image appearing, so you can see it a little bit, but not perfectly clearly. And so it actually changes it based on what your line of sight would naturally be. It's cool.
Fair enough.
Ninjas.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was never
I would
quite
recommend the
fond
game.
of stealth games in general because of the stealth section in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for the computer. It was the absolute worst stealth section of any video game.
That's a good point. Stealth sections in games that are not primarily stealth don't ever seem
They're
to
horrible. They're awful.
live quite
No
up to
one
their
likes them.
potential.
It breaks the flow really badly.
Actually, I have the same thing for the stupid. Did you play the Incredibles game on Xbox?
I did. It was really hard.
But there's like the levels where you have to play as the girl and she turns invisible, and that's her power.
Yeah. I liked the game. I actually got stuck. Like I rented it for the GameCube, and there was I think it was Mr. Incredible's first island level. I just couldn't get past.
That whole
You should
game
play
is
it.
really
You should
difficult.
play it for the gameplay channel. You should find
That would be fun.
the Incredibles for
See
the
if
Xbox.
we can do it now.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was the level where you had to like all the dash levels were super fun because you were just rocketing forward and you just had to dodge everything.
And you had a friction meter.
The artwork was done by the people who eventually did TF2 actually.
Oh wow, really?
Like,
Oh,
it was
nice.
the same. Yeah.
He
I
had
remember
that
reading
fun.
that.
You had the fun fact for the Incredibles video game just lined up.
I did.
You just had that ready to go if ever
Man.
that
We ever decided to
occurred.
talk about the Incredibles for the freaking
Because
Xbox?
that was one of the games that I rented as a kid, and then when I found when I first started looking up TF2, that was one of the things I read, and I connected that because I was like, oh right, I played that. It looks like the Incredibles. The art style looks like the Incredibles game. That makes sense. And so yeah.
Oh man. All right, let me read a comment.
Okay.
Next one, also from Mark of the Ninja by The Collective. This is why we phased out human soldiers. They weren't very useful.
The Collective. The Collective is one of our new novelty commenters.
He's a collective, isn't he? He's a hive mind.
Yeah,
He's a
or
novelty
they, I
commenter.
guess. It's
Them.
yeah, it's the I don't know what they are a collective of.
Probably
That they
thoughts.
frequently leave comments like that.
When I hear the
Their
collective,
logo or their avatar is like a beetle or something, I think. So
a beetle.
No, they're the Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatles.
shout out to Martin Bruno who joined the chat a little while ago.
Look at that
probably. I
face.
just
Look
missed
at
you.
that dumpy face. See it?
As we're reading comments, feel free to throw in additional questions to the chat as well, and we will bring those up. This is an interactive podcast, that's why it's live. Otherwise, we
Oh.
just do it by ourselves
Otherwise,
and
it's
make
just
the production
An
value much higher.
uninteractive podcast.
Yeah, the completely uninteractive one.
You should read the next one
From Allure Base 1000, almost Deadpool-esque humor, really funny.
What happened to the?
It did kind of turn out that way.
What happened to the other 999 allure bases?
When you add 1,000, if it's 1,000, it's purely for flair. There's
Oh.
no, it's not out of necessity for that.
It's like I'm Steve Franklin 47.
Yeah,
I feel bad for not watching this video.
it did end up kind of dead. It's weird because it feels Deadpool-y, but without like all the trademark things that really make Deadpool Deadpool.
Like
Because I made the
Mexican
video,
food and guns.
but the voice I did and the weird snarkiness sounds vaguely like Deadpool. So yeah, but I didn't notice until after I recorded the lines.
I think it came out good.
I'm watching the
Yeah,
video
it
with no
was-
sound right now, and it stylistically looks good. So
Are you seeing all my beautiful eye acting?
I like your great eye acting in the T-shirt that's obviously around your face.
Like half of that
cover
video
those
was just me.
hems. Gotta cover
Like
those
the
hems.
entire thing was just acting with only my eyes. It was an interesting experience. I was like, how do I convey this just using eye movements and nothing else?
You
But
gotta, yeah, it's pretty good actually. Your eye movements are great. I can't hear what you're saying, but you know, if I could,
You have
I
to
bet it
listen to
would be
the
good.
voice acting was fun. It kind of made. I've been actually hearing listening to other podcasts and seeing some other things about just generally learning about the voice acting industry. And it definitely would be fun. Like Ethan's interested in it, or at least you were. Are you still? Is that still something you're interested in
In
doing?
voice acting?
It's
I mean, I'm not
yeah.
pursuing it actively, but if someone ever offers
Yeah.
to give me a voice acting position, I'd totally do it.
It seems like it'd be a fun thing because you get to play like this huge variety of characters regardless of how you look. Like it only has to do with how many voices you can make.
I don't think I can do that many voices anymore. That's the issue. It's been so long.
It's been so long.
No, since I've like practiced any weird voices, you know.
Since I got my hands dipped in radioactive helium.
I kind of want to. I'd like to put together a voice acting reel at some point and just like try applying for things.
Those are shirts on your face by Please Pie 1928. That's very relevant to our conversation we just had.
It was okay. First of all, I am no amateur. It was one shirt. I know how to do the ninja shirt fold. But yeah, no, it was literally just like black long sleeve shirt, black sweats, black shirt, ninja. I'm good to go. I was actually really worried.
Pretty awful considering how hot it is recently.
Yeah, I did that in my garage and it was not fun. And every time I walked inside, I was like, I really hope nobody sees me through a window or something because I look like I'm robbing my house.
Wait, no, this is
my house. You weren't
house.
carrying anything, were you?
No.
Oh,
nothing.
your camera equipment. That would have been funny.
Yeah. I mean, I did have the gun at one point because I was also the soldier. I just played all the characters.
This is why we can't leave Kyle alone for too long.
Hilarious says, "Hey Ricky," and the chat is also now demanding owls. I don't know if you know Hilarious.
Who's Hilarious?
He's a real
I don't know,
guy.
his name is Hilarious. He just says, "Hey Ricky."
His name is Hilarious.
There's no way to say that properly.
Apparently they're now demanding owls. I don't know how to emote.
I was
Can I
doing
find
this.
an owl?
Oh, Ethan has an owl keychain. I wasn't even paying attention.
It's not a keychain. It's a horrible torture device. It's like, hey, check out this owl. No, it's a flash drive.
Oh,
wait, what?
okay. I wasn't sure what was happening at first.
Oh, that sort of looks like an owl. Oh,
Ethan, you want
wait,
to
no, that's a Santa.
Read the next one.
That's not an owl at all.
Nice Santa. What am I reading?
You're reading.
How many
Lonely
jumps
Ninjas.
did you do for each one by the one true ninja, Lonely Ninja?
A lot. Yeah, that was. I just kept repeating the same jump over. It's weird. You don't think about just leaping in place being tiresome, but it is.
Remember that Team Fortress 2 video, Kyle?
Yeah. How was that?
That was fun.
The rocket jump one?
I mean, to repeatedly jump holding that giant rocket launcher. That was that rocket launcher, by the way, which you may have also seen in the guards themselves. It's the one Mezzy is holding for like one frame, which is why I keep trying to use it in other things. That's actually just a military ordnance tube. Like it is specifically a thing that they could like drop out of a helicopter with stuff crammed inside of it. So yeah, it's a bit hefty. And Ethan was having to run and leap with it.
A lot of emotes, but no owls. Sorry, guys.
Let's see. This should be fun. From the Magic Mugging, I can't even say the name of my own video.
Kyle.
From Magic Mugging. All right, Andre. Maybe I'm gonna say that's a silent J. Andre Sauron. I apologize. He might have lost his wallet, but he gained a spellbook.
Yep.
It's a level 2 spellbook, though.
Yeah, so it's useless. It's basically just a flashlight
Jeffrey
that
could
can shoot
not.
people.
He could not keep hold of the spellbook during that shot. We only did it 3 times because he was actually hitting me in the face with the book. But yeah, so there was one time he hit me with the book and then caught the wallet after it flew off my head, but because of the way the camera was positioned, you couldn't really see it. So we couldn't really use that one, which was disappointing. The other one, he tried to take it and then like got tangled up in his own wizard robes and fell over. And then the third one is the one you saw in the video.
Fair enough. Yeah, how the heck did
Alright,
you get a military ordnance tube, Kyle?
You know what? I don't remember. I believe, and this really doesn't ever need any more context, the answer is Reed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That explains it.
I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. Alright, you want to read
The internet.
You want to read the one by the slightly, like,
Chewy
disturbing...
That's the best name.
Where did the wizard robes come from? Look like an awesome start to a Halloween costume. Period.
This is Halloween, everybody. Where was it?
Those are Jeffrey's... That's Jeffrey's costume for Renaissance fairs whenever we go to those, because we are all huge nerds and we go to Renaissance fairs because they're fun.
It's also he wears it in dialogue shrubs.
Yeah, we've had him wear it a couple more times. Also, I made them, just throwing that out
You
there.
should make us all
Oh
one.
wow.
But
You should just be the magic
Just-
wizards.
just make magical robes for everybody.
Oh, we
Yeah.
could do a skit about D&D and everybody being a wizard.
Oh yeah.
The party
We
of
have
all
that-
wizards.
Like, we thought of a mini-series about D&D, but we haven't quite put that into effect yet. We started playing a little bit of the game,
Kyle
So
made me
to
take
finish
like
it.
80 pictures of him. It was hard. It sucked and it didn't work.
and that didn't even work. Yeah, so we tried to... We were going to have custom models printed of us, and I was trying to use this phone app where you can take all these photographs of something,
See, the problem
and then it
is
will
phone
compile
app.
it into a 3D image. There are a few on there that work. I think... No, ours didn't.
Oh.
Other people's have. Like, you can see a library of them where people have taken pictures of it. But yeah, it didn't quite work. So,
Did not quite work.
but we have not started producing the series yet anyway, so
Eh.
you know. All right, Ethan,
What?
want to hit the last comment?
Sure. By Stowe Players. Do more Kerbal Space Program videos, please. :D.
Hey, funny you should mention. That's the video coming out on Monday.
It's all about colons.
We are having an encore Kerbal Space Program video. We mentioned it last weekend, and if you follow us on Facebook or Twitter, you probably saw the teaser for it. Scott Manley is going to be in it, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm super excited. I just finished filming John's scenes for it earlier today. We just did his remotely, and we also did Scott's remotely, and then Ethan came over and did his parts, and I'm just combining them all together.
Yeah, it took me
And,
all of like 2 minutes to do my part. That was fun.
Yeah, Ethan had a whole 2 lines, like
Like every
like
time.
usual.
I think the best
Uh,
joke from your Kerbal Space Program
Uh-oh.
videos was the this is literally your only job. That's the
I'm thinking this one will, I don't know if I should analyze my own video before it even comes out, but
It's gotta be
Um,
great.
I think it'll be good. I think I'm not sure if it's as good as the last one, but the last one turned out so well, it's hard to quite bring it up to that one, but it's definitely a good one. Like, it is a very solid, we're totally doing this because Scott Manley agreed to be in one video. Like, I think it's probably pretty obvious that that's the reason we're doing it, but I don't expect complaints. I'm actually really looking forward specifically to just watching it get posted on the Kerbal Space Program subreddit, because I know they're all gonna love it. Because like right from our first video there, everybody, like, a lot of the comments were like, somebody should send this to Scott Manley. Like, Scott Manley would love this.
who is that?
And Scott Manley is an astronomer who works at, I keep forgetting where he actually works. He lives in California, and he works at a museum, I believe, and he is an actual, like, astronomer who knows what he's talking about and knows how rockets work and stuff. And he also he has a YouTube channel where he does Kerbal Space Program instructional videos. And he's like the go-to resource for learning how to do Kerbal Space Program stuff, because he knows how to explain it and knows how it all works in real life.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, he's very popular among the community. And people kept suggesting that we have him in a video. And for some reason, at one point, I don't remember who suggested it. I should probably go find out who finally got through to me. But somebody suggested it again. And I was like, you know what? That wouldn't hurt just to go ask. And so I went on Twitter, found his Twitter, sent him a tweet, and he was up for it.
You sent
so
him a Twitter,
I sent him a Twitter.
a whole
So
Twitter.
that's coming up.
A whole Twitter.
That's going up on Monday. It should be fun.
Sunday,
Hope it does.
Monday, Kerbal vids.
Maybe it'll help us make up the lack of subscribers we have gotten over the last month or two.
I mean, you can't just expect exponential growth all the time.
Why not?
Because
But-
because entropy is our friend.
I've put in
Kyle.
my work, dang it.
Kyle,
Don't be
I
upset about
wanna-
the subscribers you don't have. Be happy for the subscribers you do have. You're all wonderful.
I'm
Exactly.
very happy for the
also,
subscribers that we
Kyle, I have
They're
a
all
little story to tell you. Once upon a time, there was a man. He was someone's son, and they got locked in prison. So he made wings out of, like, wax or something, and then he flew really high, and he got a wicked tan and died from skin cancer because he flew too
I
close
feel
to
like
the
you're
sun.
paraphrasing this a little bit.
No, it's the story of, like, Isaac or something.
I've never heard this story. I think it's legit.
So yeah, that's That's why you shouldn't try to exponentially grow, or else you'll get too close to the sun.
So
Safe isn't in the Kerbal dictionary.
So I had a thought earlier today.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Just I had a thought and then I stopped thinking about it so that I could bring it up on the podcast and see what you guys thought about it.
Right?
I was thinking about somebody brought up the fact that talking about how they still like going to movie theaters to support the theater industry kind of thing, and I hadn't really thought about it, but I guess the movie theater industry isn't doing so hot because of just the easy access to media and stuff now, and pirating, and there's not quite as much incentive to go to the movie theater because it costs money. And what occurred to me is one of the reasons that the superhero genre might be so supported and doing so well at the moment is that it is entirely possible that it is like in large part supporting the movie theater industry at this point. Because those are the movies that me and Ian and like our whole group go to see as groups. Like when we have a movie theater outing, we go to see the newest superhero movie because we want to see it right when it comes out, and we want to go see all of our favorite heroes, and we want to talk about it afterwards, and we don't want it spoiled for us. And I feel like if the superhero movies weren't coming out consistently like every single year from the two studios that are producing them, movie theater revenue would probably drop a lot.
It would drop an amount.
I don't think that much. I mean, there's always been summer blockbusters and things like that, but
I think it's definitely not holding it up by itself.
I think that older movie theaters will drop by the wayside. I mean, like things like Alamo. Like
Alamo's got a lot going for it though, just because it's like
things like Alamo coming up, or like
right.
In order for me to go to a movie theater, like I don't go to the regular movie theater anymore, like the generic Cinemark that's in our town.
Right.
The only time I go is like sometimes if I want to catch a movie that I'm not sure about watching, we'll go on Tuesday to the Cinemark because it's $5. But other than that, they've got nothing going for them. Like Premiere at the mall has a IMAX that I would love to go see and has the chairs that move.
Interesting. I didn't know about that. I guess what it is like they have to start making it more of an experience because you don't need to just go there to watch something now.
Well, here's the thing, Kyle. It's like, if I want to go see a movie, right, which is rare, I admit. I don't like watching movies very frequently. If I want to go see a movie, what I can expect happening is if I go on opening day or if I go close to opening day, I'm going to get to the movie theater. It's going to be extremely crowded, even if I arrive like a reasonable amount of time early. I'm usually going to get a crappy seat because there's going to be a lot of people there, and I'm usually going to get really expensive, not that great snack food, right? So I'd rather go to a place like Alamo where it's like I get a meal, I get to like eat stuff. I mean, it's just genuinely a much better experience. Like it's built more thoughtfully. Like even the seats are better. That's
like the whole point of the Alamo Drafthouse, right? It's like making everything an event. That's like their whole thing.
Even more than that, like I got to go I go to Alamo Drafthouse to watch movies that aren't even new. I went and watched Serenity at Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah.
Because I was in a room of other people who were there to watch Serenity. We got to quote the "I aim to misbehave" line, and they gave us all pop guns to shoot.
Yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah, and we had a blast.
That was actually, I'm curious, is Alamo Drafthouse anywhere other than Texas, or is that just our thing?
I think there might be a couple outside of Texas.
I mean, it's Alamo, so it originated here, but...
I mean, Lubbock has one, so, I mean, I assume...
But that's still in Texas.
I assume everyone should get one.
Other places probably have something similar. Our Alamo Drafthouse is, like, it's the movie theater where you go, you have assigned seats, and you have tray tables, and they bring you food, and they have these big events. Like they'll have older movies where they're called quote-alongs. You can come in and do just that, what the name implies. You sit there and just quote the movie back to the screen. They have big things. There was a Serenity event that I didn't get to go to because it was like on a Wednesday and I was working. And it was they actually screened it like out in a prop Old West town.
That's awesome.
And they had like served Chinese food and stuff, and it was like a big outdoor like screening event thing. If I ever see them doing that again, I'm totally going.
Like, I mean, even just like going to see a regular movie at Alamo, like, I went and saw X-Men today. Yeah. And while waiting for the movie to start, you know how like at regular like movie theater, they like play all these ads and stuff, and they have to
Like,
because that's where they get
it's
a
at
lot of
least
revenue.
20 minutes of
Right.
advertisements.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Because like if you show up early to get a good seat, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna watch all those like local ad space that people have bought.
Right.
But if you go to Draft House, I got to watch like a 10-minute video about what if Wes Anderson directed X-Men, and I was laughing.
Yeah, they actually take internet videos and stuff and put them up on the
Or like
Like,
ads
on the screen
for
beforehand.
like from like the 70s for like toys for Star Wars and stuff like that.
I didn't even think about that. I mean, that's gotta be like I guess that's a job there, editing those together.
When I
like,
went
I wonder
and
who
saw-
does that.
Like when I went and
Can
saw
smuggle in
Force
small
Awakens,
God.
they played like a anti-smoking PSA with C-3PO and R2-D2 where R2-D2 is smoking.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
And
Oh.
like apparently you need hold on. This comment just interrupted my entire
Oh, Wolf Undersurface.
train of thought.
I need some Jinko jeans or a pair of trip pants.
Pockets
I don't
for
know.
days.
There's always a thing though. Like I'm such like a wimp when it comes to morals. Like I don't like Kyle. I think you said a long time ago that you have this weird like moral standing when it comes to like NPCs in games. Like I don't
Oh, yeah, I
I
have a
don't
weird
want to
problem
sneak
killing
snacks
NPCs.
into a movie theater. Like I feel
I'm
horrible.
totally okay with that. We did that since I was a little kid, so maybe I have a skewed perspective on
I just
it.
I don't know. I just like normally I don't really I get like a small thing of popcorn at a movie theater and that's it. But I don't like sneaking things in because it's like, it's like is it worth it? Like
So
I actually just don't bring snacks to movie theaters anymore. Though we go to the movie and then we go eat chicken wings.
yeah,
and superhero chicken night.
time.
yep. If we generally because we generally go to a Wild Wings right before. If we go to a Cinemark,
Yeah.
we go to Wild Wings before generally because it's Tuesday, so they already have cheap wings. And
There
then,
are always a Wild Wings next to movie theaters, like in general.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good place. But I get a to-go cup. And I'll just walk it. I'll walk right through with it and like stop me. I mean, like they don't care. Nobody cares. Like
Yeah.
if like the only reason people care is because you're acting suspicious or whatever. And they're like, oh,
Like again,
can't
this is
take
another
that.
reason. Like movie theater, people have just been slowly like taking away movie theaters' money for years. Really, that's why like Alamo Drafthouse is the correct model moving forward. I feel like.
Like I mean, I've walked into Cinemarks all the time, just like, whatever. I've got like a drink in my hand and like candy in my pocket, and I'm just like walk up, and I like have to like switch hands with the drinks to get my ticket and give it to the guy. He doesn't say anything. Then again, it could just be me. But I don't ever.
Well, because
get
what are they
stopped.
gonna do, really?
I mean, really.
Like you
Sir,
have
you
like
have to
high
drink
schoolers
that
working
right
there.
now in
You don't
front.
have. There are no bouncers. There's nobody there who can physically stop you.
Like, so I'm gonna go watch this movie. I paid to see the movie. I mean, like at Alamo, I don't do that because I'm like, oh yeah, I can get drink at the. Even if you just go to like Alamo, you just get water for free, and that's just nice.
Yeah, I also have this weird mixed perspective on everything that has to do with making money off of movies because I watch them and I also make them. And so I'm always kind of going back and forth on which way is the best way to go because, you know, people who make movies deserve to be paid for making the movie. That's how they keep making more movies. But then,
Or do they? Or
there
have
are
they signed a
lots of
horrible
really easy
pact
ways
with
to-
demons to make bad movies for all eternity?
I do
Um,
like how a lot more movies
I
now
guess-
are like at the end of the movie. There's like a feel bad little. This movie created so many jobs and created so many work hours for these individuals. Thank you for paying to see the movie in theaters. Like that like feel bad. That's I mean, if somebody's pirating
to
your
what?
movie,
To try to catch somebody after they pirated it? Like, I hope you feel bad. Like, what is that? What is that
Exactly.
accomplishing?
well, I
You
like
wouldn't
the,
download a briefcase.
My favorite.
I would
Okay,
download
have you
a
guys
movie.
ever read about the anti-piracy measures some people put in video games?
Yes, the best one
Because
is
they're
Pokemon.
amazing. Which one?
Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green is the best one.
What happened?
What is that? What happens in that one?
If you try to get on the SS Anne in Fire Red and Leaf Green, if you have a pirated version of the game, the attendant, after he takes your ticket, he'll go, "Oh, and if you like the game, please buy it or die."
That's it? That's all he says?
He says, "Buy it or die" in a Pokemon game.
Wow.
The only one that particularly stands out to me, just because it's it's just like you wouldn't even know it was happening. Is I think in the first Arkham game, Arkham Asylum, there's like it lets you get halfway through the game, and then at this one jump that's like it's like a bottleneck, you have to make this jump to continue the rest of the game. I can't remember if it changes the gravity slightly or if it changes the distance like just enough to where you cannot make the make the jump.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible. And you have no idea how to do it. And so people will actually like go to message boards like, I can't make this jump in Arkham Asylum. It's like, oh, that's because you're a pirate.
I like that the staircase in Mario 64. Like as a kid, I thought it was the cruelest thing ever.
Where you can like slide up it?
Because it lets me through the door. Because it goes, you need 50 stars to get through the door. And I remember being a kid, I like got to that door and I wanted to see how many stars. It goes, you need 50 stars to get through this door. And I didn't have 50 stars because I was a kid. And the door opened anyways, and I was like, oh my god, it let me through.
Oh, really?
No, it does that. The game is supposed to.
Oh, okay.
It lets you through. And I was just like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't even need to get the 50 stars. And I start going up the staircase, and then I realized that you can't get to the top of the staircase. It's a never-ending staircase.
It's endless stairs.
Oh.
It's endless
makes
stairs,
that
and you can
horrible.
always see the top.
Wow.
You can see the top, but you can't get to it. And if you turn around, you realize you're no further from the ground, and then you have to leave. You have to come back with 50 stars to get to the top.
Wow.
But all the other star doors in the game, if you don't have the stars, you can't get through.
Yeah, they won't open.
And that was just the meanest thing as a kid. And I was just like, okay, somebody is now demanding Trump.
What? Yeah. Thank you to our chat, by the way, for joining for the live stream. The Friday nights are always much sparser than the Saturday morning podcasts. We're doing a Friday tonight because I got to get the Kerbal Space Program video done over the weekend. Got to make sure I have enough time going.
An unbeatable creature that follows you through all the levels.
Oh yeah, I read about that one. Yeah, Wolf Undersurface says there's another game. It spawns an unbeatable creature that follows you through the levels. I don't remember it. I don't think it was a very memorable game, but I do remember that thing. If anybody in the comments of this podcast or something afterward knows, let us know. But yeah, there was a game where I can't remember. It's like this giant scorpion monster demon thing that just chases you for the whole game, and you can't outrun it. 1 second.
I heard there's a mod in... Go ahead.
Oh, Kyle said 1 second, so I don't know what's happening. Oh, but there's a, I think it's a CryEngine game. There's like, it might be Crysis or something similar. There's a, like, if you pirate the game, all guns that you own will shoot only chickens and not bullets.
What?
And you cannot kill people with chickens because they are not bullets. So
they sure aren't.
That's basically it. You just shoot chickens and you lose and die. And everyone's like, guys, I'm only shooting chickens, like, as you pirated the game. So, yeah.
Earthbound on the Super Nintendo, if you pirate that game, it will not let you into the final boss.
Oh.
It will let you play the entire game until the final boss, and it won't let you through.
That's horrible. I mean, wait, that's good. Never mind.
So I've been playing around with my VR headset more.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered the best one. If you play Indie Game Developer or Game Developer Tycoon?
Oh, yeah.
If you pirate that game when you like release your game finally,
it'll people pirate your game.
And it goes, sorry, you put all this hard work into your game, but it was been pirated, and you bankrupt and lose.
Oh, that's so great.
That's the best.
But yeah, anyway, I've been playing Hover Junkers a lot, which is a really, really awesome game. And if anybody happens to have a VR headset, and not have Hover Junkers yet for some reason, I would highly recommend it.
Aren't there like only 10 games you can play?
It's not a super wide selection. It's definitely a better selection than the yeah, but that's awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really cool. Like they're like, some of them are demos, some of them are experiences. I think Hover Junkers is really the only one that's like definitely a full game that you can come back to and replay over and over again. But But yeah, they're all much more impressive than, say, the Kinect or the Wii, which, by the way, one of the games that that is working, is being worked on for the Vive, is a bowling game. And I don't know what it is about virtual reality technology that keeps trying to convince me I want to go bowling, but I've never actually wanted to go bowling in VR. Starting with the Wii,
Dude, Wii bowling.
they're all dead set on making me think that I want to go bowling, and I really just don't want to do that.
Like, the Wii came out, you took it home, you plugged it in, you played Wii Tennis, you played Wii Baseball, and then the entire family sat around for hours playing Wii bowling.
Yup.
And I mean, honestly, that was because, like, on the Wii, that was actually the most exciting thing, probably.
No,
But
yeah, I don't
Tank game.
I don't think you
That tank game
understand.
was fun.
I played Wii bowling for an eternity. Like that, I got my Mii was pro in bowling, so I had the ball with the stars on it.
I guess it's worth mentioning that I also don't like real bowling,
That's fair.
so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but like, bowling to me has always been like the thing you do when you have literally nothing else to do. And you're like, well, I guess we could go bowling.
Yay!
We go we're in Lubbock though. We go bowling at main event.
Main event's kind of
So and yeah, now that like the VR headset is out, it's like I could go fly around on a ship and shoot people, or I could go bowling.
Yeah.
An empty VR bowling alley. But yeah, I've been enjoying hover junkers a lot. I don't know if any of our audience has hover junkers, but it's still a pretty empty environment at the moment, just because not a whole lot of people have these headsets yet, which is kind of nice because the developers are really into the game. Any suggestions they get, they take into consideration and usually will fix things. Like, you can go to the subreddit, see somebody suggest something, and then see it implemented on the changelog within the next week or so.
That's pretty cool.
Which is really cool. And you see the same people in there when you go in. Like, you go in one day and you're like, oh, hey, that's the guy that shot me 37 times yesterday. And I finally figured out how to get on the same ship as somebody else. So if anybody has one and is interested in jumping into a game, that would be, I think, fun to try. Jeffrey and John both ordered their own now, so
Helios,
we're slowly collecting them.
Kamchatsky.
One thing I have noticed and am very happy about is, despite the fact that I suck in almost every first-person shooter I've ever played, I am actually alright in hover junkers, which is satisfying.
What about Overwatch? Have you transcended into Tracer main?
I have not yet played Overwatch. I actually did not know what Overwatch was until about 3 weeks ago, when suddenly Overwatch was everywhere at the same time, no matter where I looked.
Hello,
I'm sorry
Solange,
to all of you
what's
out
your
there,
name?
but Tracer mains are the new cancer of the internet.
Nah. Tracer
It
mains
used
Hello
are
to be-
to
fine.
Syrange,
Tracer mains are fine.
Helios. I have not seen Kyle XY. I remember when that came out.
I don't think anybody actually watched Kyle XY. I'm sorry.
Nobody watched
It's only
Kyle.
about 10:30. Strange.
Yeah, we've done later.
But no, Overwatch is fun. And
I don't think that Tracer mains are that bad. I think Widowmaker mains should just all jump off a cliff at the same time. Anyone who
Well, I'm a
mains
Mercy main.
anyone who mains a sniper in a video game is just an awful person. Because snipers in real life, that is an unfun thing to encounter. It's like, I'm gonna die from that speck on that hill all the way over there. And in a video game, it's like, I'm gonna die to that speck on that hill all the way over there. Respawn, turn this corner again, and die to a speck on that hill all the way over there. And I hate snipers, and I hate people who play snipers, because, like, I'm so good at playing point-and-click adventure, guys. I'll just sit on this cliff back here and use bullet on man, and then you can't have fun because you just spawn. I hate it. It's dumb. I hate it in
there-
TF2. I hate it in all those Battlefield, Call of Duty. Any game with snipers, I hate it. Ugh.
Well, luckily in Overwatch, if you shoot your sniper bullet, there's like longer than any other game I've ever seen. That bullet trail just sits there.
Yeah, that's like a good thing. Like, oh, there's a giant red line. I'm not gonna walk there and get shot by the same speck on that hill.
I would like to. I definitely want to try it. I did not. I missed the open beta. I was not aware of it when it was out, and now it's like $60, and I spent.
It's $40,
$900
Kyle.
on it.
It's only
It's
$40.
40?
$60
I
is for the
thought it was-
Super Edition.
Okay. Well, still, I have used up my video game budget a bit for a
Kyle,
little
I
while,
will
so.
throw $40 at you if you get Overwatch.
But it does look cool.
I also hate Junkrats.
Aw, you hate Junkrat? But he's hilarious. He has a discus that explodes.
His ult is
His ult's dumb. His ult's not good.
I hate it. His
Just
ult
shoot
is
the
too
tire.
good.
Just shoot the tire.
I can't ever see it. I hear it, and it's too late.
Fire in the hole!
You hear
It
it.
doesn't like it is prime time to make an Overwatch video, though.
Yeah.
So, might be something to learn about, even if I don't buy it yet.
What?
It might be something to learn about, even if I don't buy it yet.
Overwatch
Yeah,
video will just all be about trying to get play of the game, because
Yeah.
it's impossible. It's
That'd be
impossible
pretty
to
good.
get play of the game.
Get play of the game is like... Try to get play of the game as Zenyatta. I have never seen a Zenyatta play of the game. I've seen a Mercy play of the game. I've seen
I got
everyone...
a 5-man revive as Mercy and didn't get play of the game.
No?
I don't know what you're saying.
So, Kyle...
You're saying something weird.
In the game Overwatch...
At the end of every game...
Yeah. At the end... It like tallies up what you do somehow. There's like a weird algorithm, and like if someone does something really good, like let's say you kill the entire enemy team with an ability, or you're like super good and you get in this big fight and you dodge everything, it like tallies all that up, and you have a chance of getting play of the game, and then it shows that clip, and it's really cool. So there are support classes, which it's very difficult to get play of the game with, because you're not running around shooting people, you're standing behind people with a little like metagun. Or like
You've played
throwing a ball
TF2.
at someone.
Yeah.
Mercy is literally a medic, but instead of Uber charge, she can bring back everybody from the dead.
Oh.
Before
But
you respawn,
they have to
she
be
can bring you
recently
back.
dead.
Recently dead. And she can also fly a little bit. She glides.
She flies if like you're a distance away, she can like zoom to you.
Yeah,
She's
she
actually
can,
really
like,
fun to like move around as, because she's really floaty.
if you hold
I
her
saw
jump
somebody-
button, she floats.
I saw somebody playing as I think it was Devo, the one with the mech,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Diva's
and I was
fun.
just really impressed with that particular like gameplay style. Like it just looked cool. Like I liked the idea of being able to like disconnect from the mech and run around and shoot things, and then jump back in,
Her
and like
ult
the animation and
has
everything
a
was really
dumb
cool.
range.
Yeah, her ult has a really
You
dumb
cannot
range.
run from it.
You have to hide around like a
Okay,
corner or like a popsicle stick, and you'll be fine. But
You can't use
Oh,
the
you can
abbreviations. I
hide-
don't know enough about the game
You
yet.
can hide
her
behind,
strongest
Frozen
ability that
May.
you have to charge up in order to
Okay.
use, like Junkrat.
Smash move, smash ball.
Essentially, Junkrat is this like Australian man who laughs all the time. He shoots like egg timers that explode, and he also throws a discus that he can make explode. He's kind of like the demo man, but not. If like comparing to Team Fortress 2, and when he does enough damage or kills enough people, his ultimate charges up, and he gets a giant monster truck tire that he carries on his back. He rips like a ripcord, and like there's like a motorcycle engine inside it, and then he like holds his ears, and you control the tire, and then you jump at someone's face and explode, and you kill everyone because it's hilarious and stupid,
It can also run up walls.
which is awesome. It's a giant like spiked tractor tire.
But the ult on Diva is she ejects from her mech, and the mech will self-destruct.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did see that.
And if you use like the boosters, because she also
But they
has
don't
a
have the mech
booster
anymore.
ability, if you like aim the mech and then ult, it'll like fly for a while and then explode. Which is scary to see something like that flying at you.
I'll definitely attempt to try it out as
But-
soon as I can.
I mean, I know it's really good, but I always laugh so much because like everybody's ult is like really cool and awesome, and then Tracer's is just the plasma grenade
Yeah.
from Halo.
I think
But-
my favorite thing in that game is when someone like ults, they scream really loudly to let you know that someone is ulting, you should run, right? Which is a good game mechanic. However, if someone begins to ult and then gets shot in the throat because they're stupid, you just hear like fire and then and then they just puke because they get shot and they die.
The best
And it's
is
just a very
Justice
loud
reigns from
noise.
a.
Yeah.
She's soldier, but she has a jetpack, and her ult is she will wherever she is, she just rains tons of missiles down, and she says justice reigns from above while she's shooting. But if you snipe her out of the air while she's doing, as normally, because she has to get out in the open to use this ult, so a lot of the times it's Justice reigns from and she falls.
Pseudonym mentioned XCOM. I also want to try playing XCOM, because
really,
it's
It's
really
like
hard,
Final Fantasy
but really,
Tactics
really
with
fun.
guns.
Yeah,
it's made
and
by
aliens.
the same company as Civ 5, and it actually looks like it might be a game that like a few videos could come from. So I was curious to try it at some point.
All I have is Enemy Unknown. I think I have like the one that came out like two years ago.
Martin Bruno, I
demands
understood
we
that
hold
reference.
The door. Okay. He already
It was
went
really
south
weird
of the
seeing.
wall. Or north of the wall.
It was weird seeing the CEO of the Yogscast on the front page of Reddit yesterday for making that joke. I don't know if either of you saw that.
What?
Nope.
They got shared around a bunch. The Yogscast is friends with the guy, I don't know his name, and I don't watch the show yet, but the guy who played Hodor is friends with the Yogscast, and so they did the CEO during one of his blogs did a hold the door joke thing and spun around, like asking someone to hold the door and spun around, and it's him at the elevator, just kind of glaring at him, and that like got shared everywhere over the last 2 days.
Get a
Let's see,
Razer
what else was I
gaming
going
toaster.
to?
No, did you not
Oh,
see
yes.
that? That was the best April Fool's joke I saw this year.
Oh, I didn't
What,
see
Razer
that.
gaming toaster?
Razer, they posted on their website, it's like, you've all been asking for it. It's like, what's the most important thing in a gamer's life? Breakfast. It's like the new Razer gaming toaster. And it's like, it was like a toaster with the Razer symbol on it and lights. And it was just like, it comes with a, it's like, it plugs right into your computer so you can predestinate a spawn point for your toast. Hydraulic springs will launch it within a 15-foot radius with an accuracy about the size of a dinner plate. And it's just like butter infusing injection system puts the butter on your toast as it toasts. It's like you
The
can
worst part of the
upload
whole
any
thing is that sounds amazing.
you can upload any image to the Razer toaster and have it burn that image onto your toast
Oh,
for you.
like the Jesus toaster.
Yeah, and then it keeps going with all these like things. Eventually, it gets to the point where it's like, or forget the toaster altogether and subscribe to our new monthly satellite laser satellite toasting service. It's like, simply place your bread where you wish it to be toasted, and our laser satellite takes care of the rest. It's just like ridiculous after ridiculous. It was the best.
Syrange13 says
At least you have toast.
a little bit earlier he said that he thinks he's the only person in his country watching this channel. He says he's from Hungary, so I'm actually curious to check the YouTube analytics real quick and see how many people we get watching from Hungary.
Surprisingly, all of them.
Everyone in Hungary.
Every single Hungary person.
Yeah.
No, not. Oh, I didn't mean to make that joke. You know what I mean?
But you did.
Every single Hungarian person.
Let's see, what else? Oh, we are planning on going to Comic Palooza again this year, which we mentioned, I think, in a community comments video last year. It is a Comic-Con in Houston. If anyone is in the Houston area and wants to stop by, I think me, Ian, and Rachel will probably be going there on the Saturday, which I'm looking forward to.
My costume isn't ready, so I can't go.
I really want to go to a Comic-Con dressed as Spider-Man at some point within the next year.
Spider-Man?
It's not going to be this one.
You should go
But,
dressed as like
I'm gonna-
inverse Spider-Man, like just inverse
I
all the
wanna-
colors.
You should go
of, like,
dressed as
Photoshop.
Peter Parker.
Yeah.
No. I want to get the suit, and I want to, like, exercise enough that I fit into the suit, and then I want to wear it.
You should go as
to a
Spider-Man,
Comic-Con. That's
except
like
wear a
my workout
Superman
goal.
suit underneath, and then rip off Spider-Man suit to have a Superman suit, and then rip that off to have another Spider-Man suit.
No, like the Deadpool, all the Deadpool cosplay is playing as somebody
layer
else.
them.
Oh God,
Have you not seen all those?
I've seen those.
Just like people as
I've seen
Deadpool as
some.
somebody else.
Yeah. Deadpool also is just, like, the easiest way to cover your face and just act horrible. Like that's really what if you go to it, like, you can see
You're
the people
not
in the really
wrong.
cheap Deadpool costumes, and you can just tell like that's the only reason they're wearing it. It's like I'm gonna go as Deadpool, and I'm just gonna
You have to get like a
insult
really
everyone
obscure
and be
thing.
disgusting.
Like go with something really obscure.
What is?
I don't know. Go with something really obscure.
Oh, go as something really obscure.
Yeah.
You should go as the leg.
I know
lamp
the
from
guards
Christmas
themselves
movie.
characters. I'll look exactly like
Yeah.
them, and nobody will notice.
Oh my gosh, do it and hand out DVDs.
I only bring that up because me and Ian actually discussed it for all of like 5 seconds last year.
You should do it.
I believe it ended when Ian was like, "But I don't want to wear boxing gloves all day."
I'll wear boxing gloves all day. I'll be like pseudo Ian.
Just why don't you all go as the stupid pop secret counterintelligence people?
Oh
What?
god.
That's just us in suits.
Yeah.
Those aren't even characters.
I don't want to duel you. You probably win. I don't have a functioning magic deck. I haven't had one for like a year.
Who are you talking to?
Syrange, he wants to duel me. I don't have I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards in my closet. I mean, I have a magic deck, but it's not very good.
Oh, but yeah. So I was looking into the Comic-Con event and discovered that we've been going to entirely the wrong Comic-Cons because apparently there's one in Dallas that is huge and it's happening this coming Saturday, and the actual Doctor is going to be there, and
The actual
I can't
Doctor
actually
is not.
come up with a way to go.
That's not a the actual Doctor being David Tennant.
Well, the current Doctor, I should say.
You can't just say the actual Doctor because there's a lot of
It's
them.
the Doctor.
The actual
Yeah,
Doctor being Reese
but they all play the
Witherspoon.
same character, and the new one's awesome.
I haven't watched it yet because I
And
wanted to
he's-
binge it all.
Gonna be there along with 2 of the other actors from the most recent season, and I don't get to go because it's in Dallas, and that's like a 4-hour drive and then a 4-hour drive
Is
back.
anybody
and
else gonna get the new Pokemon game? Pick the owl with the bow tie
Alright, fine.
and name him
I
Matt
see.
Smith.
No. I'm gonna get the Pokemon game, pick the owl with the bow tie, and name it George.
How
just to
dare
spite
you.
everyone.
Yeah.
How dare you? Oh, Martin Bruno is excited about magic.
Magic, 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 magic.
It's weird. I actually can't tell where everybody is in the stream because they seem to like jump around in the responses.
jump around.
That's all we can play of that song before we get taken down.
Yep. Oh, a sword fight, sweet. I'll go grab my knife.
Rapier.
Rep-
You don't want a dagger. That only deals a d4 of damage.
I'll go grab my Zweihander. That's what
So
real
I'm not-
men
you guys,
use.
you have to. People listening in the podcast afterwards can't see the chat, so when
Fine.
you respond to the chat, you have to say what they say first, like you're responding to a comment.
Syrange says,
Alright,
I was
well,
talking
well.
about a sword fight. And then I replied with, I'll go grab my Zweihander. And then Ricky said, no, rapier. And I was like, no, that's for bad people who spam R1.
Guys, I apologize, but I don't know where Hungary is, and I don't know where to click it on this map.
Wow. Didn't you pay attention in geology class?
No, I'm American.
You didn't pay attention
Wolf
in
Under
geology.
Surface. Kyle said he's going to Comic Palooza.
Oh, found it.
Links in the description below.
You have discovered Hungary.
You have discovered. What was the joke that I always made?
Let's see, we've had a total of
You have
7,822 views from Hungary over the entire lifespan of our channel.
How many?
Almost 8,000.
That's a lot. That's a surprisingly large amount. You have discovered
Truth-
Liam Neeson. That's-
4,000 of that 8,000 are on Civ 5 videos, by the way.
Huh. Maybe they just like Civilization 5. Maybe Civ 5.
Uh,
Maybe Hungary is to Civ 5 as
Aren't they
StarCraft is
making
to
Civ
Korea.
6? Are they making
Those
Civ 6
Hungarian
that's
Civ
completely
5
different?
players.
Man, they're on a whole new level.
Joke's on you. We don't exist. Says pseudonym.
East Europe.
Was he also from Hungary?
I'm not sure. I've actually gone through most of my talking points at this point, which is I didn't expect. We normally don't make it through all of them.
We
Let's
did
come
not
up
go
with
through
a
all
new
of them.
talking point. Oh, here's the new
Did we
talking
not?
point.
We have not gone over D&D or Daredevil Season 2, which I haven't
Oh,
finished
right.
yet. I'm
Yeah, I
on
gotta
episode
wait.
5 of Punisher season 1?
I guess D&D. Oh, a few episodes ago, I brought up playing a Pathfinder game, and I have actually assembled one. So yeah, we've actually started that. Ethan is holding a weird bird whistle to the camera, and I ended up with actually a full group of 4 people. And we've done one game so far, and we're doing another one tomorrow.
How did it
and
go?
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. It went pretty well. They seem to have fun, which I think means I did my job properly.
Yes.
Just to catch anybody up, I have not run a game before. I have not GM'd a Pathfinder game. This is my test run, which is why I picked out a bunch of people who had not played yet, so they couldn't tell when I did a terrible job. But yeah, they seem to enjoy the first one, so I'm looking forward to continuing. I've been getting more into the D&D rules, the Pathfinder rules.
Just don't let them buy ladders.
Don't let them buy ladders. How would you carry a ladder around?
Well,
collapsible
there was
ladders.
I can't remember which. I don't remember if it was
rope ladders.
Pathfinder or 4th edition, but one of them has like a exploit to bad DMs, which is buying ladders,
Yeah.
breaking them down into 2x4s and just into boards.
Yeah.
And then selling back the boards for more than what the ladder is worth.
Couldn't, as a DM, you just change the price of one of those things?
Yes.
Absolutely, you can, but some DMs are like, well, the book says this is what's happening, so I guess you have infinite money now.
That sounds like the DM's fault.
It is a DM's fault.
By the way, collapsible ladder reminds me. You remember in our game, Ethan, when we bought the I bought the collapsible bath.
Yes, I do
At one
remember that.
point, because we visited a show. So my introductory game was me, Ethan, and Jeffrey all playing a game run by Ian, and I played as Rodriguez El Cazoro.
Because of course.
Ethan played as a Gripply Oracle, which is a frog man. Actually, it's just a frog. It's just a big frog.
Yeah.
And he had wood powers, and then Jeffrey played as
I forgot that he
a
had wood
fire-themed genie, I think.
What? No, he was a dragon man.
No, he's a genie. He was whatever the genie race is in Pathfinder.
I thought he was a dragon man.
His name was Mabook.
Was he an Ifrit?
He had genie pants.
He might have been an Ifrit.
No, he was a genie.
That's what an Ifrit is, Kyle.
No, an Ifrit is a fire elemental person. There's a
that's
specific
what he was.
genie class.
And
No, he wasn't.
An Efrit and a Djinn are
He
pretty
had spiky orange
interchangeable.
hair, so he sort of
Whatever.
embodied the essence of fire.
Prince
But
I don't.
Ali.
I'm not gonna
he didn't
argue.
have fire powers.
Yeah. Okay.
I can go find his. I have his character sheet somewhere. I can show you.
Go.
Anyway,
Do it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I triple hot dog dare you.
but yeah, it was an interesting game. Like halfway through, we discovered that we were actually playing inside of our Minecraft server, which was clever of Ian. And we had to go. He worked in this whole time travel aspect, and we never actually finished. I'd like to play more of it. But at one point, he was letting us shop and just kind of pulled open the thing, and I saw a collapsible bathtub, and I was like, I want that. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I want it. And then I think I tried to disassemble it and trap a slime under the tarp
You
at one
attempted
point.
to strangle someone with it at some point, and it didn't work because it took you about 5 minutes to pull apart.
I don't remember. I remember we blew up a chicken and hurt a bunch of people.
Ugh.
A statue of a chicken. It was fun. It was a fun game. And yeah, at some point recently, I started watching the Yogscasts, High Rollers, and Critical Role on the Geek and Sundry channel, and was enjoying those, and just kind of realized the whole game is basically like recreational storytelling and should be my favorite hobby. And so I started looking into it more.
Yeah,
So
that's really
We
fun.
that's why I've gotten interested in
had-
it.
I set up a boss fight in the Underdark against Drow, and there was a big pit in the middle of the cave they were fighting that seemed to be bottomless when it was inspected previously. But one of the generals, who was essentially just an earthbender from Avatar, because creativity, and our wizard decided to polymorph him into a newt, which he crit on the roll to do that. So that happened. And then instead of just killing the newt, picked up the newt and threw it into the hole.
Nice.
But
That was basically our playstyle too. We were all about just finding ways around the problems Ian presented us.
he was floating over the hole to throw him in, so one of the drow archers shot him with a poisoned arrow, which put him to sleep. So he then fell into said bottomless pit. So our dwarven gunslinger, thinking quickly, spent all his grit to quick shot and shot our wizard in the head with a gun to wake him up. Because he was the only one who could move fast enough to make anything to not let him fall into the pit.
Why did he shoot him in the head? Why didn't he just shoot near him? Or just
Well, he rolled a crit to hit.
In general.
Because he had to roll to hit him, and he rolled a crit, so he shot him in the head, and got to roll extra damage.
Mean he shot exactly where he was intending to shoot,
so
which may not have necessarily been in the head.
Whatever, he's fine, because it's a flintlock pistol. He dropped to 2 health, but was awake. But the Earthbender was no longer a newt, because you lose concentration when you fall asleep and get shot in the head.
But he was still falling, right?
And so the Earthbender got away for another day.
Why didn't they just step on the newt?
I know! Why don't they just step on the newt?
I'm hoping to manufacture. I think when they lose the hit points of the thing they're turned into, they technically revert back to their original form. I'm already absorbing the rule a little bit too much, but yeah. Anyway, we're playing another game of ours tomorrow, and I might do a brief update on our podcast on the progress of the party as we go.
All right, that sounds.
What
cool.
have they done
as
so
it becomes,
far?
So far, we've been doing the beginner box adventure, which is scripted specifically to allow new players to basically learn each important part of the game in order through playing it, instead of just having to sit down and listen to somebody explain it to them.
Like Ian did.
Yeah, which was fine for us because we were, interested enough. But
I meant to JP.
But yeah, so
Poor JP.
I think once we get past that introduction, I'll start giving some summaries. Yeah, he did. There was a lot of explanation that went in for JP. JP definitely seemed to have fun playing his character, though.
Yeah.
What happened? Did he lose it? Did he die?
No, we didn't play enough for anybody to die.
I think the only thing that happened was Jeffrey had an existential crisis and someone got poisoned.
It was pretty funny. I still have the recording of it. This was the game that we started playing to use as a reference for the D&D short series. So, maybe eventually we'll get around to finishing that and actually making that series. And I think that about does it for this episode. We've been going for about an hour.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Martin
Bruno demanded a better country.
There's Ethan is melting. Feel free to send us any quotes for our quote wall. Keep leaving comments on our videos, and we'll keep reading them in some video or another, whether it be these or some community comments video replacements.
It's a Beholder.
That it is. You have the Beholder book. Look at that.
It's a Monster Manual 5th edition.
I just watched the Critical Role crew fight one of those about a couple weeks ago.
Death beams.
Oh god.
Yeah. I guess that basically wraps everything up. Either of you have closing comments?
That taco was pretty good.
Nope. All right. Well, I'm going to go keep working on the Kerbal video then. That'll be out on Monday.
Ooh.
Everybody watch for it.
Ooh.
And post it on Reddit for us under a good title that people will recognize as it having Scott
LOL
Manley and stuff.
XD Kerbal Montage 420.
Hold on, I got it. It doesn't matter where you're from. What matters is what spells you've prepared. There we go.
All right.
All right.
Martin Bruno says we demand longer podcasts. These go for an hour and don't give that many views, so I don't think making them longer would actually help.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
agree with
everybody-
the wolf under surface. I really have to pee.
Everybody have a good night. We will be back in a Saturday or two for another podcast. See you guys later.
Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Bye.